Hey, this is Outdoor Jeff, and this is my first installment of doing a shoe review. So I received these shoes today, the Ultra Boost M, Ultra Boosts in the kind of, well, you can look at it, in the turquoise and blue and I guess white bottoms with this kind of pinkish color. Very nice looking shoe. I liked them a lot out of the box. One thing I didn't really care for so much was this pinkish color in here, pinkish red. It actually comes with these pink laces. I actually switched them out and put on these lock laces because I like to put them on and pull them off real quickly. I actually think it makes it look better. Not that I'm so opposed to pink, but these are actually too long for these shoes also, but they're a muddy kind of pink, so I was not a big fan. So I actually pulled these off and put on the lock laces. But otherwise, you know, my first impressions, it's a good looking shoe. A little bit heavier than I thought they were going to be at 10.9 ounces. So it's not a light shoe by any means. I do like that it's 100% of this Boost material. You can see, you squeeze it. It's very cushy, mushy kind of feeling, but it's actually firm at the same time. It's hard to explain. When you step into it, it really feels like they say, it kind of bounces you back as you push down. Construction's nice. I really like this unstructured or this new weave technology that all these shoes are going with. It really makes it feel for like you're wearing a sock, which I'm really a big fan of. I don't like all the overlays and heavy leather and rubber over the toe and over the heel. Even though this one does have this kind of, if you can hear that, plastic shell. This little bit of plastic shell actually does hold in your heel. That's actually the one thing that's making me not like the shoe, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But actually, the neat thing about these shoes I found that they different than other models is the bottoms. And I don't know if you can see this right here, but it says Continental. The bottoms of these shoes have this almost like rubber tire material, and it's actually made by Continental Tire. I think they're using the name Continental Tire as a push for name recognition, but actually these nubs that hopefully you can see on the bottom, they seem to be wearing quickly. And let me tell you, I've only wore these shoes 3 times. And I wore these shoes 3 times in 3 separate conditions. So my first run was actually just a quick 5-mile run at about an 8 or 9 minute pace. And it was nice, cool conditions, dry, and it was mostly sidewalk and street. And I kind of like the way they feel. You have to understand, I am a cushioned runner. I never liked the day of the minimalist. That whole minimalist movement, never liked it. I can remember days 5-6 years ago where I would show up to half marathons and guys would be out there with those, those finger shoes. I don't want to say the name. And I used to even see a couple people every now and then running in socks or barefoot, which I thought was absolutely crazy. So I was never a big fan. Back in those days, I was running in Nike Pegasus. So I've always been a cushioned shoe runner. I will always be a cushioned shoe runner. That's my preference. Even these race shoes and racing flats, I've tried them. I've been in a lot of different ones. Never been a fan of them. I never felt that they made me faster. This word responsiveness that you hear all the time. You know what? When I hit the street, I want to be a nice, cushy ride. I want to bounce off the cushion. I don't want a hard bang stop. So I've always been. I got these shoes thinking that these are the absolute primo shoes. So these shoes retail for like $180, and that's a lot of money in the running shoe for any stage. So I assumed that I was getting the Cadillac of all shoes. Like I said, there's some things I like about them. There's some things I don't like about them. The first thing, like I said, the Continental Tire bottoms, the nubs, they wear very quickly. So going back, first run, about 5 miles, cool weather, wasn't a bad run. It was comfortable for the most part. I did notice right from the get-go that this plastic around the heel kind of felt like it was holding my heel rigid. I didn't feel like I had that flex in my foot like I liked. The second run I did was a 10-mile run, and the 10-mile run was in very hot, humid weather. I live down here in Florida, South Florida. And so first of all, I appreciate, like I said, the uppers because it's extremely breathable. You can feel actually the wind blowing through it. It's very nice. But in that hot, humid condition, it was a good thing. But after the end of that 10-mile run, my heel was killing me. The backs of my heels. And which is interesting because when you look at the advertisements for the Ultra Boost, it's like these are supposed to be really good for the Achilles tendon. Well, it did the exact opposite for me. I ran the 10-mile run. I got through the 10-mile run. But both my heels, almost for the rest of the day, or at least half the day, felt a little stiff and sore. Wasn't a big fan. Switched back to a pair of Hokas, which are even more cushionier than these, and I'll talk about those in another video. Kind of got me back to loosening up my heels. I was feeling good again. I gave these one more try. So just the other night, actually wanted to see what they were like in rainy conditions. So I did another 5-mile run, and it drizzled, it misted the whole time. I got to tell you, so that's the one good thing about this Continental tire. Great grip, never slipped, never moved, had a good grip. Nubs are still wearing. I can't dismiss that. But it still hurt my heel. So $180, good looking shoe, cushiony, yes, but cushiony in a different way. It's cushiony, but it springs back very quickly. It's not that sinking down and up feeling. I could walk all day in these and think these are the most comfortable shoes, but if you want to pay $180 for walking shoes, so be it. But for running, it was a little too much jerking or bouncing back, a little too much more for my taste. And because of that, I think I'll be returning these for that price point. Like I said, these are the most cushioned Adidas Boosts that are on the market. You can't go more than this, so I'm assuming all the other models that you're looking out there, that they have a sequence boost, and a couple of those are going to even have less of this cushion. I guess it all goes back to personal preference. For me, I'm a fan of the look of the shoe. I'm a fan of walking around in the shoe, but I'm not a fan of running very long in the shoe. Again, it all came down to finally just hurt my heel a little bit. Lock laces, they're easy to put on, they're easy to put off. I don't know if you can see this. It basically feels just like a sock. I wore very thin socks with these. I had no blisters on my feet. I had no hot spots on the bottom of my feet. My nails were fine. So all that was good. So fitting, just putting them on initially, the fit was fantastic. They fit true to size. These are a size 9. I'm a size 9. Fit perfectly in that aspect. So like I say, I really wanted to love them. Maybe in another iteration, if they change up the way they do this hard plastic, and maybe, and you can see it's just on the sides. If they change that, maybe I will love them or try them again. But at this point, just because my heel hurts when I'm done running, unfortunately, I'm going to have to return them. Specs, right there, luxurious, ultra plush, $180. Oh my God, that's expensive for running shoes. Probably some of the expenses, most expensive I've ever heard of. Let's read this. A light, luxurious cushioned running shoe for any pace and any distance. Luxurious? Yeah, they're a nice looking shoe. Light? They say on their website 10.7 ounces. Others seen 10.9, 11. wouldn't say light, but for the cushioning that you get on the bottom, not bad. Great looking shoe. I like this word that they use, the spider mesh, or the stretch web, and the rubber outsole is lightweight and elastic. Yes, this stretch web is awesome. It feels like you're wearing a sock, tight enough that your foot is not moving around, but loose enough that it doesn't rub anywhere. So this stretch web is fantastic. I love it. I could walk around in these all day. Running, but let me tell you, nice shoe. I think most of you guys would really like this shoe. I really wanted to like this shoe. For the most part, I like this shoe. The only thing I could not like about this shoe was this weird plastic heel S-curve, whatever they call it. It did force my heel into a 90-degree angle, and it just wasn't flexible enough for the run. I'm going to do a quick run and show you guys. Hopefully you can see what it looks like, or maybe even felt like for me. But if it wasn't for this, and they just had a nice soft, maybe something else, I don't know, a little softer, a little cushion, somehow structured the heel in a different way, I would absolutely love these shoes. But for that one reason alone, don't think I can run in these very long. I know I can't run in these very long. But otherwise, great looking shoe, expensive shoe. As I mentioned earlier, I put on the lock laces because just easier to get on and off. Not a great fan of the pink, but otherwise, this blue teal color is really a great color combination. And the Boost material itself, I find that it's really easy to clean. I spray it down with maybe spray a little hose on it, or even just take a clean wet rag. Seems to wipe right off, even down in the crevices. I know a lot of people complain that once it discolors, it's impossible to get it back white again. I'm not a big fan of white soles on any shoes. I never have been. I like the fact that a lot of shoe companies are going with colored bottom soles, I guess, or side soles. Much better look, and it seems to me, or feels like to me, that they stay cleaner longer. But this white thing, it is hard to keep clean. But like I said, I've had a couple runs in these, and I wipe them down, and look pretty new to me, right? Yes, they're only maybe 2 weeks old. But other than the wear of the nubs, the famous nubs, Continental tires, other than that. So as you can see, I am walking in these, super comfy. No, I don't have socks right now. I usually do wear a light sock, but I just put them on real quick to do this test run to show you guys kind of what they look like from a different perspective. Like I said, walking in them, super comfy. For walking shoes, these are fabulous. I can walk all day and all night in these things. For running, like I said, good shoes, super cushy. This heel, kind of see the whole thing flex. Super flexible, very little structure. Super bendable. Like I said, you want some pliable, very bouncy shoes, maybe these are the ones for you. So one last thing people have told me that I should probably do, even though I haven't even posted my YouTube video yet, is give it a letter grade, because hey, you could say all these different things about the shoe, but everybody just finally, at the end of the day, breaks it